Enabler behavior. Uh, who is an enabler? What is enabling behavior? What are some of the signs of enabling behavior? Why do people become enablers? We are going to look at all this today. And what we are saying today is that we are going to look at enabler behavior, and we are going to talk about it in a way that you ask yourself or you look into your life and see whether you have engaged in enabler behavior or you know someone who may be engaging in enabler behavior. So enabler behavior involves it's behavior that involves encouraging a person who is engaging in destructive behavior. So an enabler or enabling behavior involves someone who is either encouraging or contributing, or they're simply ignoring someone who is engaging in behavior that is negative, some behavior that is destructive. And we're going to look at some of the reasons why anyone would actually do that. Anyone would encourage someone who is doing or who is engaging in destructive behavior. According to American Psychological Association, an enabler is a person or anyone or someone who allows, contributes, or encourages someone who is engaging in maladaptive behavior. An enabler is someone who either encourages or contributes to or allows someone who is engaging in maladaptive behavior, behavior that is negative, behavior that is destructive. That is an enabler. And recognizing enabling behavior patterns is important because you can only stop or you can only deal with enabler behavior if you already recognize it. And so we are going to look at some of the signs of enabler behavior. Some of these signs are encouraging them. When someone is encouraging a person who is engaging in this behavior that we're calling maladaptive. So for instance, if a person wants to go to have a drink and they know a person, either a friend or a family member or a colleague who has problems with drinking, maybe they are actually trying to stop drinking or they are addicted to drinking, but they tag them along, they encourage them to take them to go to a pub to drink. That is someone now who is encouraging this other person who is already having problems with drinking, because they know that the moment the person starts drinking, they will not stop. So that is someone now encouraging the drinking person. They are encouraging this person who already has major problems with drinking. So an enabler can be someone who is encouraging maladaptive behavior. So encouraging is one of them. The other one, behavior that is enabler behavior, is pretending like the problem doesn't exist, or someone ignoring that a problem exists. So, for example, if there is a person who has diabetes, for instance, and there's a certain way they're supposed to watch over what they eat, what they don't eat, portions and all that. A person who pretends that is not a problem, they will probably just let them continue eating like it doesn't matter. You can have some ice cream. It's not a big deal. So pretending or ignoring the problem or pretending that the problem doesn't exist is also enabler. It's enabling behavior. So this is an enabler now who is ignoring the problem, who is pretending that the problem doesn't exist. And therefore, in that way, they are encouraging the person to not watch their diet or not watch what they're eating or what they're drinking. The other enabler behavior would be downplaying the magnitude of the problem or minimizing the magnitude of the problem or the issue. So that would be like they're not really ignoring the problem. They acknowledge the problem is there, but they make it look like it's not such a big deal, you know. So downplaying the magnitude of the issue or the problem is also a sign of an enabler behavior or a sign of an enabler. Making excuses for someone who is engaging in maladaptive behavior is actually acting as an enabler. And that would be like someone, let's say at work, someone doesn't do their work, someone does not complete their tasks. And because you're working together, you kind of either do their work or you cover up for them. You make excuses for them. So making excuses for them is not helping this person because they will continue engaging in that behavior of, either not showing up at work or showing up and then leaving or not completing their work. So making excuses for someone, and we're not talking about a one-off incidents. We're talking of continuing behavior. So making excuses for someone who is engaging in maladaptive behavior is a sign of an enabler or is a sign of enabling behavior. Or the other one is hiding their behavior. So for instance, someone is engaging in, let's say, they're drinking too much and their drinking is now causing them problems, getting them in trouble. And family members kind of ask around or get concerned, or friends. But the person close to them kind of hides this behavior. They either try to cover up the behavior, or they just, they find ways to cover up that behavior, that person's actions, so that people don't see what is going on. So making excuses is one, covering up or hiding the behavior of a person is also enabling the behavior to continue. So it's really not helping this person. The other behavior that is clearly enabling is rescuing someone. And this happens when someone engages in negative behavior, maladaptive behavior, they get in trouble. But instead of making them or letting them, deal with the consequences, the enabler comes and rescues them. So for instance, someone drinks and drives and then they are arrested, and then the enabler comes and bails them out. That is enabling, because you're rescuing the person from the consequences of their actions. So the other sign of an enabler or enabling behavior is taking responsibilities from the other person, taking someone else's responsibilities. And this simply means that the person may not necessarily do what they're supposed to do, carry out their responsibilities, manage, themselves well, but there's this person now who decides to take on their responsibilities. Whatever they are supposed to do, you do for them. That is enabling behavior. And so all those are signs of enabling behavior. There's also accommodating their habits. And this would be something like someone is already engaging in negative behavior, but instead of calling them out or just exposing their behavior to themselves and to others, accommodating their habits means you're actually encouraging them by, let's say, they are drinking irresponsibly and they don't even have money to buy the drinks, but now you give them. The enabler gives the money for this person to actually continue drinking. That is accommodating their habits, and that is enabling behavior. The other one would be, the other sign of enabling behavior is repeated reconciliation and this happens when there's there are issues within a relationship. For instance, someone may be engaging in heavy drinking or using money irresponsibly, or all those things that hurt relationships. And then they come, they apologize, they say they will not do it again, and then there's a form of reconciliation, and then they continue. So the enabler is the one who kind of accommodates this repeated reconciliation. So the person apologizes, goes back, we reconcile back, then it happens again over and over. So repeated reconciliation is actually enabling behavior, because the person is clearly not making an effort to stop, and is not making an effort to even seek help if they are not able to do it themselves, but their partner keeps repeatedly accommodating reconciliation. So that is enabling behavior. Uh, the other sign of an enabling behavior is failing to intervene. Like we said earlier, there are people who may simply just ignore. So they're not intervening, they're not calling the person out on their behavior, they are simply looking away. So they're not making any effort to get the person to either stop or seek help or anything. So they are failing to intervene in any way. And so those are some of the signs of enabling behavior. And if you find yourself doing some of these things, you are actually engaged in enabling behavior, and you're not helping the other person. Neither are you helping yourself. But why would anyone engage in enabling behavior? Why would this person, who themselves are not engaged in maladaptive behavior, why would they be engaged in enabling behavior? And there are several factors that contribute to, or that can lead someone to becoming an enabler or engaging in enabling behavior. One, and we look at some of them, there are many, but one of them is fear of conflict. There are people who simply engage in enabling behavior because they do not want to engage in conflict. They don't want a confrontation. They want to keep the peace. So instead of calling out the behavior or the person, they would rather just, they fear conflict. So they leave the situation as it is. And the number two, the other one is loyalty, which is misplaced, or simply loyalty that is there. It may be genuine, but it's clearly not in the right place. So there are people who may love the person, and therefore they don't want to do anything about the behavior. They feel loyal, they feel empathetic, or they have a sense of duty that they feel they need to hang around this person, they need to take care of them, they love them, they don't want to, they don't want to say or do anything that may question their loyalty or their love for the person. And so that's what we're looking at. That's what we're saying. It's misplaced loyalty. The other one is unrealistic optimism. There are some people who see a person engaging in this behavior, a family member, a friend, a colleague, someone close, but they have this feeling, or they have this belief that they will, or hope, let me call it hope. They have this false hope that things will change. And they have that's why we are calling it unrealistic optimism. You're so optimistic that things will change, the person will stop, at some point they'll change, and especially if they keep apologizing and going back. Unfortunately, things may not always, the person may not always change. So this unrealistic optimism sometimes can make someone, just being an enabler. Like they are there, they are not doing anything, but they are hoping, and they keep hoping that things will change, even when it's clear that the person is not interested in changing.